Tape is being taken by John Vonderloh Police Department. The time and the date. This is the east city limits in Omro on Highway 21, and the road has been closed officially as of 1 week. Looking at the east city limits, looking west on East Main Street. The excavation that you can see on the south side of the road is from sewer and electrical work that was put in by the power poles. And you can also see the two sets of poles that have been put in to replace the old with new lines, etc. Another shot on East Main Street looking west. And in this view, on the north side of the road are trees that will be eliminated, whereas the road will be widened and curb and gutter and sidewalk will be replaced. Showing the south side of the road up as far as Jeff Saved. This picture is being taken on East Main Street just west of Lincoln Avenue, which runs to the north. In view now is the new sewer that went in on the north side of Main Street. And across the road by Jeff Savemore, he was just hooked up to sewer and water. This takes us up to the corner of Omro Ave and East Main Street. This is taken just west of Omro Ave on East Main Street, looking west towards the Mary Samfier property. This corner on the south side will be cut back to some extent, and sidewalk and curb and gutter will be put on both sides of the road. This is a closer view of it. This is a view looking southwest into the S-curves in front of Maplewood. The Dave Ellis property and properties in front of the Martin. Standing on Maplewood off of Main Street. Michael's Construction Company is in front of the Old Daly property working at this time. Again, this is in front of the Ellis property. So if you standing on Harrison facing the east, northeast on the S-curves. And I'm standing on Harrison at this time facing west, looking towards where Rex Katie used to live. Showing the side of the road and across to the wine garden property and back down towards the view of Main Street is from Van Buren looking west on the south side of the road. Shows the present sidewalk. Furthermore, it shows construction that is being done, park system, as they're completing the bulkhead and doing landscaping. View of Main Street, looking in a westerly direction from Jackson Avenue. Shows the existing road in front of Scott Park up the Leisure Systems and across the street. There's a picture of the east end of the lagoon at Scott Park upon completion, with the exception of seeding grass. Down to as far as the McDonald property. What it looks like on the west end of the lagoon. This is on the intersection of East Main Street. See, in front of the Leisure Systems. Shooting to the west. Focus as well up to the Old Daggett Mill area. We'll show where the new sidewalk will go. Across to Quick Trip. And from Quick Trip down to Quincy. This is a view of our new library facility. And how nice the road looks. Main Street in Monroe, across from Quick Trip, shows the old Borkert home. Across to the Standard Station. And back to the Quick Trip area. From East Main Street and Madison Avenue in front of the Omro store. See what their special is. Shot of the sidewalk area. And the road. And coming up the other side from the fire department. On the opposite side of the road, also with a view of the current street lights that we have. Back down into the sidewalk area. Price of gasoline went up 4 cents a gallon in today's date. This is a view from standing on the George Loudon property at the end of Madison Avenue by the river to the west along the shoreline of the properties at Condon Oil Homes. Which goes up past Joe Odo property to Al Van Geysel's to the Walk Bridge. Same area from behind the businesses or the Omro store. This is a view from South Webster and East Main Street, and the view is of the southeast side of the road on East Main Street. Back towards the Omro Hysterical Society. View of the street itself. And of the sidewalk and businesses. North side. This is Main Street looking west at South Webster on the north side of the street. Down towards the Foxview Manor. Community Savings and Loan. Back on the south side of the street. This is a view of South Webster, the 100 block, standing on the north side of Main Street intersection. Standing on Main Street, next to the Main Street restaurant, showing the sidewalk, the end of the walk bridge, and how vehicles are presently parked on angle parking facing understanding that in the near future this area will be also under construction. The alley behind the Main Street restaurant running to the east from the Walk Bridge area, the old Stearns Boathouse, and the entranceway to the south side of the footbridge shot is being taken from the footbridge itself facing east, showing the properties owned by Condon Oil, and a close-up of same. And the back of the stores that you see while walking across the footbridge, which appears to be an eyesore at this particular time, of South Webster from the footbridge. On the footbridge facing to the west of the car bridge, which encompasses behind the Omro Hotel, Jerry Beck's Pizza, and the business district to the Walk Bridge, which again appears to be an eyesore from this location. It will also show how the river frontage has been reconstructed and what potential lies ahead in this area.
41 is squad number 5. 6,471. 471. 901.
Picture standing on the middle of the Walk Bridge to show the island that the city allegedly owns and the erosion, so that sometime in the future, when this is reviewed, it will show what damage the ice and boats have done to these properties. From West Main Street, just west of Jefferson Avenue, to the east, on the south side of the road, swinging over to the north side of the road, also viewing our signs hanging over our buildings, coming back to the Omro Hotel. View standing by the hotel going to the west, which shows the city garage area up to the area where we turn off of Main Street onto the bridge. Foxview Manor. Signs that should be moved because of being a hazard to traffic, as far as viewing from people on Adams traveling north across the bridge looking back to the east. The Colonial Cheese House. And the Community Savings and Loan. This is on the east city limits of Main Street, looking to the east. It's up Industrial Avenue. This is from standing just west of Jeff Savesmore, looking in an easterly direction. Notice the poles are right next to the road. I understand they all have to be moved back again. This is standing in front of the Omro Motel, looking in east, westerly direction.
Here at City Hospital.
This is in front of the Martin House. See how far the road has been cut down over to David Ellis's property on the edge of his garden. Standing at the intersection of Main Street and Harrison. This shows how much the road had to be cut down by the Wine Garden Chase property. On the intersection of Van Buren and Main Street, you can see where they're digging down to the valley in front of Scott Park. Standing by John Knapp's, taking a picture of Scott Park. This is in front of Scott Park. Standing on Jackson. This shows how deep they're digging on Main Street. Shows the depth of the road. And a look back up Main Street to the west. A shot of the new footbridge on the west end of Scott Park. All the cement you see there is fill that they're using off of Main Street itself by the bakery.
Who are you talking to?
This is a shot facing the east from the corner of Jackson and Main. A shot from in East Main Street in front of Quick Trip. This is standing in front of the Omro store, looking east. behind Al's restaurant, Condon Oil. You notice the old boathouse is now gone. To the east in the alleyway behind the bakery. This is the base of the new water tower up in Tower Park. Yeah, I didn't know that either.
He batted .437 last season and compiled a 13-1 record while pitching. Titan assistant coach Tom Letcher says McCurdy will make an immediate impact on their program. And that wraps up sports. It is 12:31. And it's time now for Thursday's Birth and Death announcements brought to you by the Westshore Funeral Home of Lena. One death from Westshore, 93-year-old Marie Floyd of Menasha. That's Marie Floyd at Westshore. I'll check first right after this. It pays to have some things before you need them. Funeral services, for example. Why? Because when there is a death in the family, dozens of choices happen.
What's that sticking uphill like that?
Control, George.
Unease down to your name problems. Get back. Says if it was late enough, chances are they got 5 minutes.
You can make a statement even if you'd like to about how the job's going.
No, I think we'll just let you take a picture of it. The job's going fine.
Okay, Jim Maples on the left did this road in 1951, and he's back to do it again. He says 37 years from now he won't be here, but his son who's on the right will be. I'll tell you, fellas, it isn't so much of getting up early in the morning. I'm getting mellow though.
handle the tough cleanup jobs.
Hi. School is starting and kids everywhere are getting ready for fun fall. That means more bikes and kids crossing streets and sometimes forgetting to look both ways.
To the 1099 in your book for Craig Fuller.
And watch out for us during this important time of year and all year long.
This silhouette by our bar and restaurant, where they feature lunch and plate specials every day, with the meat entrees, salad bar, and a beverage for one exciting low price. Correct on deals and quality service is the new bar and restaurant.
Okay, this is the east end of the city limits, and today's date is October 14th, 1988, and officially on today's date, Highway 21 through the city of Omro to Oshkosh 4-lane has been opened. Observe and looking on the south side of the road that the sod has been put in place and the sidewalks now to the east city limits. Lincoln Avenue on Main Street looking to the west.
Pushing that button made any difference or not. Before it was in.
Yes, corner going to the west by Maplewood Drive. With the new sidewalks. Shows you the new shoring put up off the sidewalks. Retainer wall. Shot of by the park after it's been sodded. The yard work off of Van Buren, the abutment. Front of the park showing the bump out and the sodding.
You know where the town dump is down here? Like Wolf?
Some work being done at the middle of Main Street on North Webster. Sidewalks have been basically completed except for the bump outs.
Rock and roll coming up for you like music from the Monkees, the last train to Clarksville.
Shows the sidewalk on the 100 block of South Webster from the intersection of Huron and Webster looking in a northerly direction. Compared to the blacktop at some time next week. This is from in front of the post office looking in a northerly direction. The air hammer that you hear and the work that's being done is on a sidewalk that was taken out and replaced, and now it's being taken out again to be replaced. Apparently a mistake was made.
Just prior to the ribbon cutting ceremony, some of our local dignitaries were lining up, getting ready to say a few words.
That's why I want to be here. Now they're going to sing it for us.
Excuse me, would you please not, I'm going to get distracted kind of job as a train.
I'm Marlene Milkey, Council President, and on behalf of Mayor Paul Johnson and the Omro City Council, I welcome you to a very special event today. We are gathered here to officially open Highway 21 and specifically our new beautiful Main Street. This construction project has been a catalyst to change, renovation, and revitalization. Omro has a new face to present to those who travel through, and so often as I travel through the state, and I'm sure many of you have experienced the same thing, I will tell them that I'm from Omro, and they frequently say, "Oh, Omro, that's the nice little place with the nice place with the park on the river." Now they'll be remembering us for a lovely Main Street, beautiful lights and banners, and most importantly, as a community filled with pride. Let us begin by meeting our platform parties, Reverend John Matson, Grace Lutheran Church, United States Representative Thomas E. Petri, our Agris Rosite, Area Construction Supervisor, Department of Transportation, Mike Berg, Highway 21 Project Engineer, also Department of Transportation, Bert Stiff, Downtown Coordinator from the Department of Development, University Extension Agent Gary Bloomberg, City Council members Beverly Kaczynski and Paul Costello. This construction project would have been difficult at best without the diligence, dedication, and loyalty and the very hard work of a very special group. Please meet our very special guest, the Department of Public Works. With us today is Mike Donkey, Acting Director, and his wife Barbara, Gary Marks and his wife Paula, Cora Schaefer and Jeannie, Bill Reinert, and Lester Pongren. Phil Kuntz and Ken Cady were unable to be with us today. At this time, I would ask Reverend John Matson to lead us in an invocation.
Heavenly Father, as we meet for the dedication of this highway and the Omro downtown improvement, we join in thanking you for your goodness that has made these blessings possible. We ask your protection upon all who have traveled this highway and the streets and on all highways and streets. We pray that you grant your blessing to all the businesses who seek to serve you, and grant your guidance and direction to all who serve in our national, state, and community governments. Give to us citizens who not only exercise their privileges, but who also willingly carry out their responsibilities. We thank and praise you, Father, for these blessings. Hear us as we bring these petitions and thanksgivings to you in the name of Jesus, our Savior. Amen.
Thank you, Pastor, for those words that began this festive occasion today. In addition to our platform party, I'd like to recognize our color guard. They are the National Guard Unit Berlin 1157 Transportation Company. Also, I'd like to welcome Boy Scout Troop Unit 623 under the leadership of Bob Harma. At this time, they will lead us in the Pledge of Allegiance. Thank you. A project of the size of Omro does not get done without many hours of planning, many hours of just plain hard work, and a commitment to a job well done. Every single city employee has left their mark on this project. Jan Shettle, our city clerk, was instrumental in the planning and coordinating. Judy Schuster, Linda Forsythe, and Rita Roberts ran interference in the hallways of City Hall as well as on the telephone. They had many questions asked, and they gave many good answers. John Vonderloh, Larry Wright, Greg Clark, Jim Reed, and Chris Kennor of the police department were involved daily in traffic control and in assisting the Department of Public Works. And I say again, the men of the Department of Public Works, our special guests this morning, oftentimes went that extra mile and more. But we all needed a boss. We were lucky to have Jim Maples with Vinton Construction, our general contractor, be that boss. Under Jim's able leadership, the project proceeded on schedule, often ahead of schedule, and without many hitches. Jim not only got all the technical pieces to fall into place, he also kept the lines of communication open, not only for the city council, the city employees, but most importantly for our citizens. Jim made our job a lot easier. Thank you, Jim, for that help. We would be remiss today if we did not extend a special thank you to our citizens of Omro for their patience and understanding. We've gone through a lot of changes, and change can be difficult at times for some of us, but I think most of us would agree that it was all worthwhile. At this time, I'd like Agris Rosai to speak briefly about the project.
Thank you. Tom Clark, the district director, will not be here, so they asked me to say a few words. And first of all, I would like to thank the city of Omro and all of you for the outstanding cooperation that we as a department received in providing this outstanding transportation facility. I use the word outstanding because the district, which consists of the northeast 12 counties from Sheboygan to Marinette, has recognized this project as the outstanding concrete paving project in the district. This also means that the project is up for consideration as the outstanding paving project in the state, and it's probably being judged now or in the very near future. Cooperation between the contractors, the city, utility companies, residents, and businesses enable the project to be open to traffic at least a month ahead of the time when the allotted contract time would have expired, and now we're in the near future. According to Mike Berg, whom you met before, the department and the contractors received unprecedented goodwill and cooperation from the officials, businessmen and businesswomen, and the citizens of Omro. The relationship was special considering the 6 months of inconvenience, hardship, and the dust that all of you have to put up with. The grading for the 5-mile rural section east of Omro was started in mid-April and finished in mid-August. The general contractor for this work was R&R Wash Materials from nearby Berlin. I don't see anybody moving here. Vinton Construction Company of Manitowoc was the general contractor for the paving of the rural section, as well as for the grading, store work, curb and gutter, and the paving of Main Street here in Omro. President is Lowell Ralph. Many of you know him, being a 25-year resident of Omro. He's also the superintendent for Vinton, and he gives attention to detail in the construction of the intricate headwork concrete paving contributed greatly to this outstanding project. Vinton's project was started in mid-June and opened to traffic on October 14th. The construction costs alone for the highway from Leonard Point Road to through Omro to Highway 116 exceeded $3 million. I feel proud to have been associated with this project, and so should anyone else who has contributed to its success. And again, on behalf of the department, thank you for your cooperation, friendliness, and perseverance.
Thanks, Aggie. I appreciate those remarks. Before continuing, I'd like to pay special thanks to a special group. Under the Highway 21 Coordinating Committee, much work was done. The committee met often and successfully to deal with the coordination of a very multifaceted project that dealt with street grading, storm sewers, curb and gutters, paving, street lights, sidewalks, and the list goes on. Someone had to pull it all together, and this committee did it. Mayor Paul Johnson, City Clerk Janet Shettle, Consulting Engineers Stan Martinson and Paul Vandenberg of Martinson and Isley, Chuck Offerman, former Director of Public Works, and Acting Director Michael Domke, Randy Tetzloff, Planner, City Attorney Robert Burke-Wirch, Elaine Peck, former council member who's no longer with the council but stuck with the project because she wanted to see to it that it had a good completion. And last but not least, Rhonda Luniak, who's Omro's marketing manager. She's been with the community only 1 year, but she's made a significant contribution not only to this project, but to a lot of our service organizations in the community. Our next speaker is no stranger to Omro. He has made himself or his staff available to many of us through his scheduled visits at City Hall, and John Vonderloh tells me that he's a frequent visitor at Kiwanis meetings. It is my pleasure then to announce to you, or to ask you to welcome 6th District U.S. House of Representatives Thomas Petri.
When it was said I was a frequent visitor to Kiwanis meeting, someone leaned over and said, anything for a free meal, eh, Petri? I'm real happy to be here today, especially so because I sense that this event marks a real milestone in the history of the community of Omro. I've been here many times over the last 8 or 9 years, and I sense a rapidly rising spirit in the community, a sense of optimism, and perhaps the hardship and dislocation of the highway help bring people here closer together. And there is a sense, I think a growing sense, that the condominium project just down the way on the river won't be by any means the last, and that as this highway expansion continues into 4 lanes, we're going to see Omro grow and expand and become even more prosperous and a great place to live. The utilities are here. You can double your sewer use without additional investment, I understand, and water is here, so you need to get a little more property to spread that cost over and lower taxes for the people who are already here, and I think this road is going to help in that whole process. So thank you so much for including me in this wonderful day for the City of Omro. I'd like to join in commending the City Council, the State Highway Department, all the people who worked on this project, and especially commend you for the very tasteful way that you renewed your main street. It's a credit to you all. Thank you.
Thank you, Representative Petri. Aggie mentioned that Lowell Ralph was one of our hometown boys who helped on the project. There were others, and I will quickly name them. It looks like our parade's going to be rained on after all. Lowell Ralph, Spencer Ralph, John Zinder, Ken Matuli, Richard Callis, Scott Callis, Rick Callis. Are there any Callises who didn't work on the project? And Darren Cumbier. How proud you must be to have made this contribution to your hometown. We would also like to recognize the special guests in our crowd today, former mayors Aaron Fink, Darrell Enley, and Archie Daggett. Also with us today is Linden County Village President James Coughlin, County Executive Paul Stevenson, our dedicated and loyal volunteer fire department who will be serving as our official parade marshals today, and John Heft, who is Vice President and of the OVA and Vice President of the OVC. We also want to thank Marlene Lenz for pulling the parade together, and a big thank you to everybody who had a part in preparing for our service today. Before we go to the ribbon cutting, let me say that many of us in Omro see this occasion as not the completion, but only the beginning. May the revitalization and renovation continue so that Omro begin this journey into the 21st century with vitality and prosperity. Let Omro be a place that our children and theirs will be proud to call their hometown. And now to the ribbon cutting ceremony.
Yeah.
Incidentally, this scroll will be placed in the Historical Society for lesson generations to see in the future. The progressive city of Omro, uniquely located in the heart of Winnebago County, in the grand state of Wisconsin, does proudly proclaim Highway 21, our beautiful Main Street, our bridges to the 21st century, our lifeline to the world, our corridor to prosperity.
I got somebody right in front of me.
Edward and Mary V.
This is a picture of the water tower after its completion.
Edward Ida Tom Henry.
Thank you.
The water is turned on and servicing the city at this time. Picture of the decorations on our streetlights.
I'm on at 686 Central.
And a shot of our main street after completion. Considerable difference from when and what it looked like during the spring, summer.
Say what?
Why you are at Central Street?
Trying to pick up some properties.
Central.
As you can tell, Don, I'm certainly not an expert doing this. Hopefully the shots are long enough that you'll be able to edit, but it does show the lighting, and I will attempt this evening to get the shot with the lights on. Picture from Main and Madison Avenue, looking towards the west. This is a picture of behind the Omro store. I'm standing on the walk bridge looking to the east, and this is the completion of the new bulkhead, which you can see they added probably 12 to 15 feet to the shore to make the bulkhead. The only part that's not done is behind Joe Odo's usual thing with Joe. Also, you can see that there is street lights put up in the back here. And this area will be used for parking. Walk bridge facing south. You can see the new sidewalk has been put in and curved. Wisconsin Power and Light is in the process now of burying all their cable underground. This project will not be completed for another year yet. This area here also will be used for parking upon completion. This is a picture standing Standing on Webster looking south. Now that the street has become a one-way. To the east, it gives you an idea of what the trees look like that's on Main Street. The west. This is what the new streetlights look like. I'm facing to the west and I'm standing just east of Jackson on Main Street. From this point here, I'll go up and take a picture of Main Street itself farther up. Just to conclude, when these shots are taken, this film for you, Don.
How
far you want to go? Stop at Madison.
2519 Highway 1.
This is standing at East Main Street and Madison Avenue looking to the west again. Picture of the Hysterical Society, the old City Hall. To the east on East Main Street. Standing on North Webster facing to the north, shooting across the walk bridge with the new lights on it. Facing to the south on Webster, shooting across Main Street, showing the decorative lights that go up towards the post office.